His first concert were the Cars. How about that? It's our buddy Richard Lowenthal. Welcome back, buddy.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, and always so much fun to play Jeopardy with you, Mark. So you're the host with the most.
Pleasure.
Well, we are here to now dive deep into game types. We're going to talk about videos and audios, and we're going to talk about advanced feedback. So we're going to go real deep into the tactical executions on the training arcade. So I'm going to share my screen. Let me do that right now. How many of you in the virtual studio audience enjoy watching cooking shows? Anyone in the cooking shows? You know how they prepare all of the veggies and they slice them up all ahead of time, and then, you know, when they put on the camera and then they start doing their magic. So I had to do the same thing. And let me share a sound. Okay, great. So I have a presentation here that delves into the game types, rich media, advanced feedback, and we're even going to talk about slides, time permitting. But what I did is kind of crazy. I've got 26 tabs opened up all the way up top here to walk us through the different kinds of question types. So hopefully I don't accidentally close any of those. All right, let me move this bar down so it doesn't get in my way. Okay, fantastic. Mark, everything okay? You can see me all right? You can see the screen?
Everything looks great, brother.
All right, fantastic. Let me close Slack. All right, here we go. So, by the way, you know, Mark, you really should have told me that I should have shaved before this photo. Like the before and after contrast is a bit crazy.
Richard, you look great, but we all want to. Can you put my camera on 1 second, Steph, if you're there? This is a homage because we all, yes, we all want to be like you, buddy. So this is just an homage to you.
Well, you know what? I don't know how to. I need to stop sharing my screen in order to see that.
Oh, but, it says don't be a Richard, but we all want to be just like you, buddy.
Oh, got it. Yes.
We love you. All right, keep going. I'm out of here.
Just virtual fist bump. All right. So there are 9 question types in the training arcade. And which question type you'll use is going to depend on the kinds of material that you are looking to educate your employees on. And it does tie very much into the presentation that Stephen gave earlier on which game types to use. So there is an association, but today, right now, we're going to talk about question types. So the first one we're going to talk about is associations. So the association question type is when you have concepts that you're looking to find that have triangulation between them. And what I'm going to do for each of these question types is I'm going to start by showing you the actual end user game. This is what your employee would see. And then I'm going to show you really quickly in the admin portal how you go about creating that specific question type, how you use it. So here we go. First time I've ever done this presentation, so I'm hoping it comes out understandable. So this is the association question type. And the game I've selected to do that with is called Sorted. So when you play Sorted, the idea behind the game is that you have concepts that have an association. So for example, the disease state for a thickened LV wall and septum, I think is this venerable, no, actually that's here. So that is an association of thickened walls of the heart, and this is the specific treatment. So the concept here is I have this answer, which is this particular therapy type, and it's associated with these 2 concepts of treatment and the thickened wall. So you're doing, if you were first order kind of knowledge, education, and really assessment here to say, how are these 2 concepts interconnected? So, and the way you build that is in this particular Sorted game, you create the column that has the overall overarching concept. And in this particular case, you've got this column that's decreased contractility, and then you have the disease state. And what you do here is you upload an image, the specific image that is associated with that triangulation of these two concepts. So that is the first question type, which is associations. By the way, if you have questions, please put them into the chat window and I'll try and address them in real time. The next question type is letter input. So best example for letter input is Wheel of Fortune. So in building a Wheel of Fortune game, I'll actually go ahead and show you for those of you that haven't played this yet. So this is the officially licensed Wheel of Fortune from Sony. Out. All of the music is the
Get ready to spin. Time for a new puzzle. Spin that wheel.
So what kind of training do you want to build? And here for your letters, one at a time, hangman style, the player.
That's a good one. What letter would you like?
Player comes in and selects their letter one.
Good work.
The creation of this game, mute that. The creation of the game here, you come into the backend admin portal after you've created your game. You literally type in your categories. What kind of training do you want to build? And you enter your puzzle text, literally typing it in here. It's really that simple, that fast and easy. The different kinds of component types that you have for Wheel of Fortune include this spin puzzle. Then we have toss up which is one of the other of the three different television show actual game types. So you type in and you can have your toss up, and of course you have your bonus round as well. So let's see. The next of the game types, the question types, is deduction. So this is where you need to be able to create linkage between concepts. And this game is, this particular game type of detective is really all about creating questions that require judgment, that have multiple concepts that need to be linked together. And this is one of the more powerful of the game types. I'm going to show you how we go about building that. Again, my goal here is to show you the question types, how you quickly can go about building it. So this is the back end of the detective game. And the notion here is that you are assigning evidence items and then deciding whether or not these are linked to the concepts. And I'm going to show you right now how that works. So this is the detective game. You're learning about, let me turn on the music because it's really cool. So the first thing that you're doing is you're presenting to your player information about Dr. Brock, her personality, her specialty, her specific interests and concerns. Kind of cool to note, by the way, you can have in each of these modal windows, you can actually have text, images, and videos if you want. Once you, as the reader, as the player, have learned about Dr. Brock, you then have to come in and determine how those are related to the overall education and information that you have, whether or not you should be presenting just the facts, or if you should be offering a solution to Dr. Brock. And what you then do for this concept of question types that are about linking concepts is you now are taking the personality traits that you've learned about Dr. Brock and deciding whether or not the style that you're going to bring to your sales initiative is about educating and informing. Is that true or not? Based on her personality, should I use education and information to try and develop a positive rapport with her? So you can link We've now linked those two concepts. Should I use given her personality? Should I maybe just go for the facts? I don't think so. So I am not going to link those two. So what you're doing here is you're building a case by linking together these concepts. And these are concepts, these personalities, and offering a solution. These are all aspects that you, as the instructional designer, the game creator, build, and then you're linking or having the player link these concepts together or not based on what you have done here on the back end, linking all of these concepts together. All right, I'm going to mute that site. Learned about a new Chrome plugin to mute sites, to mute tabs. Now you can only mute overall sites in Chrome. So excellent. Anyone wants to know how to mute a tab in Chrome, let me know and I'll send out that information to you a little bit later. So, all right, so we had the question type, higher order thinking, linkage, really being able to synthesize information. The next one is multiple choice. Let's go to the multiple choice example. All right, so for multiple choice, I'm going to show you the use of multiple choice in one of my favorite games. It's called Recall. So this is a simulated blackjack table. And the idea here is that you need to add as fast as possible these in your head and then determine who can hit. So who can hit, player or dealer? As soon as you're ready, okay, I'm ready. I've added them in my head and come here. Now, who can hit? Was it the player, the dealer, or could both hit? So this is an example of multiple choice. By the way, who wants to tell me who can hit in this example? Here we go. All right. Who can hit? Player, dealer, or both?
Chris wants player. Chris wants player.
Chris wants player? Let's see. Indeed, yes, the player.
Nice work, Chris.
That's exactly right. Good job. All right. Moving on, here in the back end is this same exact game, right? So this was this game where you have the video of the cards coming forward and who can hit? Player, dealer, or both? And the answer was player. And I had some feedback response here. Yes, the player can ask for another card. If you got that wrong, no, only the player can ask for another card. The dealer has 17 and is not permitted to hit again. All right, now we're moving on to the next question type. The next question type is multiple select. And what I've done, ladies and gentlemen, is I wanted to show you each of our game types allows you to have many different kinds of question types. I just wanted to show you a variation across the different game types that we have for those question types. So this next one is our Candy Crush-like game. It's called Match. And here in Match, I'll show you how this is played. So here, which two women have appeared on the US dollar coin? So which of these two women have appeared on the US $1 coin? If you all will help me out in the audience, we've got Martha Washington, Deborah Reed, Susan B. Anthony, or, oh, Mark, I'm going to mispronounce her name. Sacagawea.
Sacagawea, yeah.
Sacagawea, thank you.
Laura Killenwater wants Susan.
Okay, now remember, this is a multi-select response. So Susan B. Anthony and who else?
Let's see. Laura wants Sacagawea.
All right, we'll go for Sacagawea. Actually, the answers were Martha Washington and Susan B. Anthony. Those were the correct answers. And in the back end, I believe that's Sacagawea. And in the back end, here we go. We indicated that this was a multi-select answer right here with the different kinds of selections of the different question types. This one was a multiple select. Typed in the question, which two women have appeared on the US coin? Didn't have a timer for that purposefully. I randomized the answers, and here were the correct responses, Susan B. Anthony and Martha Washington. Okay, moving on. I'm going to go now. This is one of my most fun games. This is the jump game. The jump game, we are going to use the jump game to show the image match game. Image match game. This was a demo that I created for NASA. Land down on that question. So the question here, I need to move this so I can actually see the question. Which capsule sat atop the Saturn V rocket? Which capsule sat atop the Saturn V rocket? Mark, you want to help me out?
You got it. Let's see who's from here. Who wants to put in the chat box here? Scroll in that chat box.
We're out of time, people.
Running out of time.
That was it.
Okay.
So in this one, you have the opportunity to determine and have your answer be a visual answer. So if the content that you're looking to deliver, test upon, has imagery that's important, this is an excellent question type to use. And in the back end, what have I done? I selected image match from the back end for that. When I create games that have image matches as the actual answers, I purposely don't have the question itself also be an image. I just have that question be a text. So the text question was, which capsule sat atop the Saturn V rocket, the Saturn V? And I imported my images, and then I selected the correct one. All right, moving on. That was the question type image match. The next question type has all to do with scramble. Scramble my brain. So we've got two different kinds of question type scrambles. We've got a letter scramble, and we have a sentence scramble. This is one of the most underrated but most powerful of the games in the training arcade because it makes you think so hard. And if y'all haven't read the book, Make It Stick, it's a fantastic book. And Brown, I believe is the author. He extols and wax philosophical about the scramble game and how great it is for your brain to practice retrieval of information. So here's a quick example of the scramble game. The medical term for chest pain is. All right, can someone in the audience help me unscramble?
Dave got it right away. Angina.
All right, and
so did Shara. Nice work. Forgive me.
All right, Angina.
Rolanda. Nice work.
Angina, right? I believe it's angina.
Angina. Forgive me.
That's all right. I gotta remember to turn on the music. The music is so good, and I've turned off using my newfangled. Let's play one more here. Help me out with this. Not taking blank as prescribed as a leading cause of hospitalizations in the U.S.
Oh man, this is the hardest thing for a dyslexic person. Let me tell you. But Rolanda's got it. Marcella's got it. Chris Cook's got it. We got medications.
That is right. Exactly right. By the way, look what happens when I get it wrong. Submit. So it shows me which ones I still have yet to do. Submit. And speed matters in this game as well. And the faster you do, you get bonus points. You've got streaks. It's very cool. Really highly tout, really think highly of our scramble game. It's great for bringing forward concepts. All right, moving on to the next question type. The next question type is in Jeopardy. All right, let's take a look at that. And if you hopefully were here for Mark's game that we just finished, the Marvel universe. And so this next one is text input. And I'm going to go for TV shows for 400, Mark. Thank you. And in this, the character Trapper John, you read it, Mark.
Hi, the character Trapper John MD appeared in a CBS medical drama of the same name and also in this long-running comedic drama set in Korea. Rolanda's got it. Marcella's got it. Dave's got it. Spelling does count here, huh, Richard? Tell us more about that.
You know what? That's such a great question. Spelling can count. It doesn't need to, and I'll show you why in a moment. Because sometimes when you are using the games to educate and assess, you actually want and need someone to spell it exactly right. Other times you don't, though. So let me show you what I mean by that. So in our games, we now have something that is called wildcards. So this was the question the clue we just did. The answer was MASH. But if you don't need the person to get the exact spelling, but rather you're okay if they just understand the concept, we've now given you the ability to have wildcards that enable you to have, yes, you can have the exact kind of spelling based on the various permutations, but you can also go with these other three kind of wildcards. It contains certain letters. It starts with certain letters. So if I start with, maybe I only care that they got MA correct. That'd be fine. You also have ends with. So if you wanted to, the answer here could have been ASH, and that'd be fine. Or you can have something that's called inside, where you have just the inside letters being correct. So we've given you various ways of creating different wildcards for text input to really provide a tremendous amount of flexibility to you as the game creator. All right, moving on. Need to be mindful of time. The next one is polls. So you can build polls into various games, including trivia. I'm going to take a look at that one right now. So this, and I've got to move you once again. All right, so resuming. So this is a poll that was built in a trivia game. How effective are the tools you currently use at creating engaging educational experiences that foster long-term content retention? So this, I'm going to select highly effective. There you go. And you can see how my response measures up to all of the other people that have played this specific trivia game. So kind of cool. In the back end, this is the trivia game. I selected a poll, question type here, question type, all these different question types you have in trivia. I selected poll, decided to have some nice imagery, and here's your question. I decided not to randomize the answers, and here were the 4 answers provided for the poll. All right, moving on. Okay, we've now moved on. We captured all 9 question types. And we're getting short on time, so I'm going to keep moving as fast as I can here. The next part of this presentation was on rich media. So the first one is on audio. So if anybody out there works for customer service and you need to have your customer service reps listen to your clients, your customers, and you want them to be able to hear and then respond to questions based on perhaps what a fake customer, or a real customer response was in, you can use pure audio as your question in all of the different game types. So let's go ahead and show you how that works. So we're going to use the recall game type, but here it is. So here's an example. This is an audio file that was uploaded. And I'm ready. I've listened to enough of it. I'm ready. And the question is, judging by the audio quality, is this an MP3 compressed file or a WAV uncompressed file? This could very easily have just been an irate customer. And the question might have been, what are you to do as the customer service rep? What's your next step? Calm the customer down, send them to your supervisor. So audio, very powerful, highly recommend thinking about that kind of question type when you're building your games. All right, moving on. Video. So many of our game types enable you to add video. Detective, Jeopardy, Jump, all of these allow you to add video as a prompt for your question. Let's take a look at how that works. So, see, here we go, and we'll resume. My goodness, this bar keeps getting in my way. So here's an audio here's a video, excuse me, of this particular
To meet you,
initiative.
but I really don't have time to talk. If you leave your card, I'll get back to you.
And we use videos in this case to prompt and set context for the questions that come up next. And in the back end, what you're doing in this particular game, this is our scenario, our branching dialogue game creator. And what you do is you literally upload to the information slide, you're uploading this video, and that video can be stored directly on our servers so as not to take up room on yours. All right, moving on. I got to keep a close eye on the clock. Advanced feedback. All right, so advanced feedback is all about giving your learners that are playing Jeopardy and trivia additional information about a particular topic. So if I move here to movies for 400, oh, wrong one. Oh, I'm supposed to be for 200. I'm so sorry. I messed up there. Give me 1 second. We'll go back and we'll do movies for 200. Sorry, it was movies for 200. So here, this movie, this clue is about Chicago, and it's about Ferris Bueller's Day Off is the question. But I need you to know more. This feedback is great, right? Tell me about the movie. It was directed and written by John Hughes, but I need you to know more about this information. So we give you the opportunity to add as many slides as you wish after a clue or after a trivia question. And the way you do that is, this is the game that we just played. The answer was Ferris Bueller's Day Off. This was the feedback that you saw. And then this is the advanced feedback. And you can add as many advanced feedback slides as you wish to Jeopardy and to trivia. And the way you do that is you literally decide what kind of, where you want the slide, whether you want it to be an image or a video, and you can tag them and actually have them appear one after another. All right, the last slide, and then I'm going to hand this baton back over to Mark, is slides. So this is the ability to add more information in a similar fashion to advanced feedback, but for Wheel of Fortune and for scenarios. Like, was that Harry Potter movie? So in here's how this works. So this is Wheel of Fortune. I just finished playing one puzzle. And now, right after that puzzle, I'm able to add this slide about Bloom's taxonomy. If you wanted to, you could start each puzzle with a slide and provide that in the form of a video or imagery to set up the context for the actual puzzle. And the way you do that is, oh, my session's about to end, don't end it. What you do is before or after each puzzle, you literally come in and you decide that the component type is not going to be one of these puzzles, but an information card, which then enables you to upload an image, text, or video. And again, this information slide can come before or after each puzzle. Mark, I have finished. I am 1 minute over.
No, you nailed it, brother.
You do have a few questions, though, just a
Go for
couple. Hopefully Jake won't mind. All right, so the first one is, in the back end, are we able to assign particular templates or games to individual creators, or are all creators granted access to all created games within the back end area, within the CMS?
The answer is all. So a creator will have access to all of the game types and all the question types, full functionality based on the subscription that your company has.
Awesome. And the next one is from Helena. If you have trainees that speak different languages, can you do the games in more than one language?
Yes, thank you. Yes, indeed they are. I will show you. This is, I love geeking out on this. So I will show you. I'll go to real quick to, let's go to Jump, one of my favorite games. So, and this game has been made in many languages. So when you create your game, you're able to first decide what the default language will be. In this case, decided to be English. But you see this up here, this tab called Translations. And of the 10 game types, I believe 8 of them have 16 different languages. So what you do is you add translations based on the different 16 different foreign languages. And it is so easy to create your translations because we give you a translation template. And what you do is you download this translation template. So you download the file. And when you download the file, it opens up as a CSV file. I'll show it to you right now. And this game, all of the user interface that you have within the game have been translated into 16 different languages. So what you do is you then have your translation company create the translations in any of the languages that you want. So say, for example, you want to have Jump into Finance translated into German. You take all of these fields in column B as in boy, you have your translation company type in all of the translation for your questions and your answers, and then you upload that exact file that you just saved and you've translated, you upload it, and then when the player comes in and wants to start playing your jump game, if you have more than one language, there'll be a pull-down menu having the player select the language they want to play it in. It is a total geek fest. I love it. It's easy and it works remarkably well. So.
Okay, one last question, then we have to move on.
Okay.
Do games become more engaging with multiple question types, or should a game be limited to a specific question type or concept?
From my point of view, I think it's critical to vary the question types within a game. It will keep your learner on the edge of their seat thinking. And so I highly recommend mixing it up.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much, Richard.
Thank you.
Thanks, Richard.
Thank you, Mark. You have a wonderful afternoon.